I think for the amount of Arco drinks I get, I should be sponsored. Because they're only $1.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, at least like a discount or something.
But today, what we have set forth kind of came from a conversation actually a long time ago that I had with Taylor. It's kind of a funny one. Christmas time. I'm not a real fan of Christmas music. I will say I'm gonna come out and say I'm not the biggest fan of Christmas music.
Yeah, very repetitive.
But I do like kind of the mood it puts you in. So it's still like okay, there's some nostalgia there. It has its place
for the setting.
Yeah, and honestly, the closer you get to Christmas, the more I can deal with it.
Yeah.
Right. When it's November 27th and it's like Christmas music, I'm like, no, not yet. You know.
Too early.
But December 24th, 25th, I'll listen to it. You know, I'm down for it. So this conversation came up, I think, a couple of years ago, actually, talking about what came on the radio was Last Christmas, and it was Wham, which is George Michael, and then the other guy, I don't remember the name. But and I was kind of saying, like, you know what? For a Christmas song, I think this is pretty good. This is actually a fun song. But I know this is a cover of a cover of a cover, probably, or wherever that comes from.
Yeah.
But I think that's my favorite version of it, you know?
Yeah. And
it is an older style. It's really like a kind of a flashback of time that's before my time, but it's kind of a fun, nostalgic song that I really, it's fun because it does come into rotation during Christmas time.
Yeah.
And so that whole little concept of the idea was, you know, what song does a cover kind of overshadow? Personally, maybe it's your own choice, or your own taste to say, I think the cover actually beats the original, and kind of why.
Yeah.
And in thinking of that, I had a couple examples that I wanted to bring up, and that's kind of what we'll go over here today. I have a feeling we may have some overlap.
Okay.
My guess is that there's probably one or two where we're in the same boat, and it's going to be funny. I'm predicting it right now. This is literally the beginning of the time, so you know, no editing tricks here, but I have a feeling there's at least one, and I think it's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, for sure. I know this was a tricky one. I think even just prefacing beforehand to find songs that are at least equal to the original, or you know, in some cases even better. In some cases, it was an easy decision in my mind, but in others, it's like, whoa, that's really hard because, you know, there's certain songs that are classics, you know, originals, and, you know, coming from the artists, they have their own ideas and just everything as far as their execution to what they want. But, you know, seeing somebody else come over and give it another light and cover it to where they infuse their own, you know, artistic perspective and musical qualities is pretty cool. So definitely going to be fun for sure.
Yeah, and you know, even today, again, kind of even bringing up the idea of going over covers. Again, kind of tying it back into Taylor, just a little plug. As we were talking about it today, it was kind of fun because you know, you're thinking of the same thing where it's like, how many of these? For me, there's probably, we'll go over them. I'll know exactly when I go through them. But I think a majority of these, I heard the covered version first. That's the version I fell in love with. And then you kind of rediscover, or you find the original sample, you know, who they took it from. And there's a couple examples where the original, I think, beats it. But, you know, in this case, I think these songs, the covers were, it's just a little bit more, you know, and it elevates a little bit more. It's your favorite version of it, you know, in an aspect. But one thing I'll see, and you know, in my head, I was trying to be very pure about my choices here, because I was thinking, one, I want it to be a pure cover. I don't want it to be just a sample of. Because my brain is like, there's a million rap songs that I like, hip hop, whatever you might call them. That maybe even, you know, really spotlight the entire sample, like Juicy, right? That uses Juicy Fruit like throughout the entire song, right? There's a lot of songs that kind of like really use the same idea. I was even thinking about Stan by Eminem, but he features Dido on that song, right? So I was like, okay, that's still a sample though, right? It's still not the, you know, kind of one-to-one creation, or at least somewhat similar there. Where I would say maybe like 75 or 80% of the original song is being used, you know, but added one, you know. And what's funny is that kind of going through this journey and going through my music to find these, I forget how many like covered songs I do have. But also like some songs that I actually figured out and I just found out as well. So
yeah.
it's just as a kind of a music nerd, it's just so fun to like see. Wait a minute, this is not an original.
Yeah.
Who's the original? Wow, this came out in 1968. Like and it kind of it just trips you out. Yeah.
And then even like seeing where, like you said, there's been a lot of cases where you hear the cover first, and that's what you like. Just your brain defaults to, that's the song, and then you go to the original and you're like, whoa, that's completely different in some cases, while still being a cover. So yeah, there's a lot of cases like that for sure.
Yeah, and ultimately what my choices are here, I have probably 6-7 examples, but I want to use 3 to 5 main ones. Some honorable mentions in there. I think those were going to overlap.
Yeah.
But I really wanted it to be pure, honest covers. You know, because again, like I said, I think becoming a music nerd back in the day, like it came from like, oh wow, there's a sample of this, and I always enjoyed like knowing like the fact that like it reminds me of that meme where the guy walks into a party and they're all having fun, and he's like, I bet they don't know that,
Yeah.
And I feel like that's me when I go in and I hear a song playing. It's like, I bet you don't know that's, one is like, kind of like really takes it as Workout by J. Cole, right? That samples Paul Abdul song. And it's like, I've never heard the Paul Abdul song before or really paid attention to remember it. So that was the first version of it. So, and it does, primarily spotlight it, but it's not a full cover,
Yeah.
It does repeat some of the lyrics. It kind of keeps the same idea, but it's a different song.
Yeah.
And with these ones, I try to keep them to like pure covers, and but that just kind of opens my mind to like, wow, so much songs, so many concepts, so many ideas are somewhat reused, or elevated, and to see that, it's just really cool to see like, taking someone's craft and like, still respecting the original, but like, really putting their touch on it, and maybe that's what makes it more, well known or widely accepted or liked. And so I think that's what we're going to kind of cover here. Some of these you may know. These are pretty common ones, honestly, for me. These are ones that are, after I made my list, I did check to see. I think 2 of them came in there. So these are popular examples in a sense, and hopefully there's like 1 or 2 that you may not know here. But really excited to kind of go over this, because I think this is where that music nerd fandom starts for me, where it's like, digging a little bit deeper than just the lyrics, the sounds, who made it, the creation behind it, when did they do it, what's the story around that album, what's the, and then why did they cover it. So this kind of really like taps into the vein of like, the musicaholic type of deal. Type of deal. So you want to kick it off, or you want me to kick one off?
You open this up.
All right. And I'll probably go with the Lyte example here.
Okay.
And this is one that I can probably say, this might be probably like solid 5 years in the mix.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, I'm thinking 5, maybe, probably about 5, 2021. That sounds about right. And coincidentally, when we talk about the original song, I think what I'll do is, actually, that's a good choice. Wait, should we start with the original and then hit the cover, or should we start with the cover and then reference the original?
I think we do the cover and reference the original.
Makes more sense.
Because
if you've never heard the original, then I'll be like exposing you to that one, and you're gonna kind of like Most times, I think the covers are more well known, anyways, especially in my brain or what I picked. So it's definitely going to be.
It'll be a fun backtrack to hop into the original afterwards. It's more of a surprise.
Or this would be actually kind of fun if, like, let's say for example, the original, you're like, wait, this is a cover. That's where like ultimately I want. Like, people to give me suggestions, or like even when you bring these songs or albums or bands to me, it's like I like to be floored too with songs. So this is really fun. So we'll start with this one. This is a fun one for me. I would even say this might be in that funeral track list. Maybe this is right on the border. This is like on that real fun line. And it's just like, beginning in the last 5 years, this is definitely a bumper. This is definitely, and it's an odd song, honestly. Like, especially kind of from the perspective of me listening to it. But I think it has everything that I like, and Pause it.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of leave it at that. But this is Poor Georgie by MC Lyte. Oh yeah, the EQ is a lot louder. I think it's really cool because not only do you have that like guitar solo in the back or that guitar sample, I think even the rapping style and the delivery kind of matches in a way. And the beat just, whoever made this beat just really had it.
I'm curious what that little sample is.
Actually, I think that might be Drafty 5.
Oh, okay.
I think. Sounds like it. I think the
So this one I have a little bit of context, which I'll go into a little bit after once we hear it, of why he covered it, and I think there's that's kind of something you were talking about a little bit earlier. I was like, well, why? Getting into it, why they cover it and what it means, and all those different things, and for this artist, he definitely has a story for it, and I personally like his cover a little bit more than the original.
I think I've ever heard this. Oh. I think I know the song.
It got popular at a time, for sure.
Yeah, I do know the song. Oh, is this the original?
I feel unhappy. I feel so sad. I have lost the best friend that I ever had.
I like the soul version.
She was my woman. I love her so. But it's too late now. I let her go.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of hits a high point right there. Yeah. I don't know if it's like a trumpet or some type of brass. But that sounds good. Yeah, that's nice. This feels like the original. Yeah, this is fun. Yeah, I'm bought in now. And real simple too.
We shared the years. We shared each day. In love together. We found a way. But soon the world had its evil way.
I like that little sound in the background. Ooh, this reminds me a lot of the Vanguards. I love that band. Alright.
I'm going through changes.
Yeah.
I'm going through changes.
And he's got kind of like a little bit of a raspy voice too. Yeah. Feels very real. Some type of like little guitar.
Yeah.
To realize
I feel like his vocals are a little bit more upfront
I
now.
can still hear her last goodbye. And now all my days are filled with tears.
I feel like this could have definitely been a number one on Motown Records.
And change these years. I'm going through changes. I'm going through changes.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, it hurts so bad. In my life, it's gotta be a change. In my life, oh,
Yeah, it's very so much more theatrical.
in my life, it hurts so bad. Somebody gotta help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, at the beginning, I know I peeked right away and I saw
Yeah.
when it was made, and it was like, okay, this is cool because this sounds like this is the original, you know? Because I know the I don't know if it's Ozzy Osbourne or
Yeah,
if it's
Black Sabbath.
the Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Ozzy really.
And actually, what I will say, my own little note is I do
Yeah.
have this song, but my favorite version is the live version that he does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, and it's still there's a certain love for like the electric guitar parts, and I like his voice on it too. I like Ozzy's voice on it,
Yeah.
but this adds such a gritty kind of soulfulness
Yeah.
that it feels like this is the actual original. you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's slow paced. It's one of those that's kind of like simple is more,
Yeah.
and it does really achieve that. But then when it gets into the build up where everything comes through, hearing the horns in the background is like it's a perfect payoff. You know, it reminds me of like Across 110th Street. That song really that style of music. I was feeling a lot of the vanguards.
Yeah.
When the guitar's playing, it's like, oh man, the fact that he's able to achieve that, now is just like, it's just really cool that like, you can make something that sounds, so old and so soulful like that, nowadays as well. But I think it does. It pays homage to the original. It does the entire thing, but it brings a whole other fun part to it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I definitely echo what you said, especially like the feeling of it feeling like a classic song. Even like in its structure, it sounds like even like an Etta James song, where like I'd rather go blind. The guitar is slow, and it's like a laid back, like in a lounge, and the vocals are up front, and that's what you're really like drawn into. And I think similarly, that his vocals are very strong on it. And I think, much of like just the raw and like soulfulness and the emotion that he puts in is definitely a testament to obviously his story and what he was facing at the time. At the loss of his mother.
Oh, wow.
She passed, and and for him, this was like, this is looking into reasons why covering it. For him, it was very much a testament to what he was going through, what he was facing at the time, and how he felt. And so I think being able to encapsulate that definitely shows in the music altogether. But I think it's a cool testament regardless, because, I think everybody, you're in a mood, you put on music, right? And so I think in this scenario, he definitely had the emotions and the feeling, and he made that, within, and like you said, still paying homage, still covering it. But yeah, I think it's a good cover for me.
Yeah, that's interesting to know the backstory there. But yeah, you definitely feel that pain and that, in the delivery of his vocals. But just one side funny note I'll say to add to this is that I actually forgot about this. I knew this is a Black Sabbath song I heard on the radio, but it was one of those that I liked it, but I would forget to download it. It was just like kind of just on the peripheral, And funny enough, watching Big Mouth on Netflix is actually the theme song, and it's another version of it. They're like re-singing it, but it reminded I forgot about that song, and then I go back to the original. So like that was probably in 2020 or something, but that's a funny connection where it's like I knew I liked that song, I forgot about it, and that like reminded me to go download it. So, but then I heard it and I heard the live version. I'm like, stick with the live version, But this is a really cool cover to hear. But funny how we get how we. It's not about the I don't know. Usually people say it's not about the journey, it's the destination. Vice versa, Usually people, I don't know. It's just I got to it. That's all that matters, basically. So I got a couple different ones for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit you with one still that you don't know. I'm gonna probably guarantee that you didn't know this was a cover. And it's one that I know. It's one that I know we actually listened to the other. Well, I can remember playing the other day, but when you realize it's the original, this one to me, it's smokes original by far. And this is one of these songs it's definitely in that top 15 maybe.
Oh wow!
So definitely it's part of that list. It's a cover. I heard the cover first. Heard the original. Kind of fell in love with the original, but still, the original just never really. It just the impression and what goes down on the cover, it just so far exceeds it. And then I think this is a live version. So, I believe it's a live version. It is.
Yeah, I dig, brother. It's really out of sight.
It's a live version.
No buttons to push. Right now, I'd dedicate this song to everybody here with hearts, any kind of hearts and ears.
That comes up right now.
What I say now? Yes, as I said before, it's really groovy. I'd like to bore you for about 6 or 7 minutes.
Bore you?
Excuse me for a minute. Just let me play my guitar, right?
Yeah. The live playing is just so unmatched,
By Bob Dylan.
And I like how he kind of like intros it, he kind of explains it.
There's a little thing called like a Rolling Stone.
I like that. It really pays homage to the original. It's like just the original, just on steroids. But then the fact that it kind of drops back down is just so cool.
all saber-wear doll. You're bound to fall. You thought they all. Well, couldn't you? You used to laugh about everybody that was.
And it just feels so like, so just effortless, so carelessly, just kind of going to the lyrics.
Talk so loud.
It's just like so perfect. I don't know.
Now you don't, baby. Seem so proud. Why having to be scrounging? Yeah, you're nasty. Yeah, how does it feel?
Even the
The
drums.
drums are
yeah.
nice on it too.
Little baby, to be on your own.
Yeah, the little like fills in between.
No direction, oh. Look at you, I'm complete on road. Yeah, like a rolling stone.
And I think the beauty on this is that it doesn't even sound so like highly like recorded. Even the microphone and the vocals don't sound so clear, but it still sounds so good.
Mr. Lonely Bud, you know you only used to get juice in air. Nobody here to taught you how to live out in the streets, and now you just gonna have to get used to it. You say you never compromise with a mystery tramp, but now you got to realize he's not selling.
Yeah, and I love whatever that
alibi.
guitar in the background is, like a Stratocaster or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Of his side. And it says, hey baby, would you like to make a deal?
Oh, the drums just really get down too.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
It just feels like a 60s grunge version
Mhm.
of, you know, the original.
No direction,
Kind of like the heavy metal take.
of complete unlove. Look at you, like a rolling stone.
The distortion.
Prisoners of the steeple and all the pretty people, they all laughing, drinking, thinking that they
I feel like, yeah,
got it made.
there's so many good parts and it kind of switches back from kind of faster and more building to laid back and chill, but it's still really good.
And
I always think that's funny.
you used to be so amused at the pulling and rags and the sweet talk daddy you. Go to him now, he calls you. You can't refuse. When you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. You're invisible now, you got no secrets to conceal. How does it feel?
Yeah, I forget how good the drums are on this,
Mhm.
but they really push the song. And it just feels like he's playing it so like ferociously, you know?
Yeah.
Look at you, like a rolling stone. Thank you very much.
25. I'm gonna leave right there.
Yeah.
Because
The outro.
the outro kind of goes into the full live version of the whole recording. But yeah. Oh man.
Man, Hendrix.
That's a breathless one, yeah, for me.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, you just look at his artistry altogether, especially in this song, right? Like how, like, regarded definitely up there with one of the greatest guitar players, but likewise, he's got the vocals too behind it, that are just still very impressive to combine both. It's hard to, sing and play guitar, let alone how he does. And then just the anomaly of the fact that, he's known for his right-handed guitar while being a left-handed player. So just his skill, like, throughout. And I think it's, like, certainly gifted, obviously, just the countless hours and work that he definitely put in. And then just surrounding himself with other artists. But he definitely had a ear, that he didn't, like, it wasn't by the book, right? And you can hear that in the playing. It wasn't, let me follow the scale and make sure I'm going off of the root of the chord. None of that, that was out the window, and he played what sounded good and what sounded right. And, it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's just one of those, like, in new terms, I would say.
Yeah.
He definitely mogs the original in a way, because it's like it's one, again, it feels so like, okay, if you listen to the original version of it, it feels kind of like a pop song, honestly. Like it feels like it's just like a Beatles song or something. It just feels fun and whimsical in a way. And it's a good idea, the good songwriting, but the way that Jimi Hendrix kind of goes through it, it just feels so effortlessly, like just awesome. Like, I don't know how to explain it. The lyrics are so kind of impromptu in a way, like he's kind of like, he's speaking, singing, in a way, and then kind of brings it up. Yeah. But it just feels so like he learned how to play the song, and he's kind of reading the lyrics, but it almost, in a way, you could look at that and say, like, okay, it's not like really giving its proper flowers to the original, but in a way, it's like totally Jimi Hendrix, and knowing how he kind of, like, I don't know, it feels magical. One of those songs where, the original's fun, but the cover just takes it to this crazy level. And again, for me personally, the live version is just, it's where it's at, I love all the little, the parts where he kind of misses a lyric, or goes through the verse wrong, or, and he's adding his parts on there. But definitely one of those songs that just, I can listen to him back and forth. Crazy song. And the original, I remember going to the original and like, oh, this is fun. This is cool too, because it feels so like, of that time. It was great, but just hearing it in that order just kind of messed it up for me. You just can't. You
go back.
I don't know who says the original's better, but maybe there's some nostalgic tie there. But for me, it's he elevated that song, and it's. On a good day, it's my favorite Jimi Hendrix song, but it's probably number 2. I gotta say, just out of homage to All Along the Watchtower, but it's definitely in my top 15 just all time.
Yeah, I know, and that's the crazy thing when you're comparing, 2 huge artists, right? Bob Dylan, just crazy huge songwriter and singer and artist, with Hendrix, just that, and also, like, I think that's a cool thing that we're seeing, like, I think throughout is. Like, just the craziness that, like, they're very intentional, because they're different genres, different artists, and they see something that they like within each other, you know what I mean? And I think that's pretty cool. It's just, I'm always, like, just at a loss for words with Hendrix, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Just the breath on the mic.
Yeah.
I think by this point I'd figure out, okay, I think is that Hallelujah? Yeah. Okay, yeah, it is. Alright. Yeah, but I like the kind of darker side. And maybe the strumming is a little bit different, so, but it sounds very like, I don't know, like laid back.
I think it's like a
like the strumming
like arpeggio.
or something.
I think he's arpeggio on the chords, or he's moving around quite a
It sounds a
bit.
little bit more magical too with the acoustic.
Yeah, it sounds like an arpeggio.
And his voice really complements the guitar too.
Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight.
Yeah, I feel like he has like different aspects of his voice.
She tied you
Really has a good
to
vocal
the
range.
kitchen chair, and she broke your throne, and she cut your hair,
Ooh.
and from your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Yeah, this one's a 1-for-1 cover so far.
Well, baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. You know, I used to live alone before I knew you. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken heart.
Yeah, I feel like everyone has their own take on how to sing the song, and he did a really good job on his version. A lot of guitar sounds too for an acoustic, you know, like loud, high. Kind of like whispering, singing.
But remember when I moved in you, and the holy dove was moving too, and every breath we drew is hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Really cool. So I think this is probably where like the original ends, right? Maybe? Not too sure. Maybe it is this long in the original. Yeah, like a little static in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Like drifted away completely.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from
So it feels kind of like a reprise or like a, you know, encore of the original.
And it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah.
I think the combination of like high vocals on like the simplicity of just guitar strum or the guitar pick is just like, it's a really good contrast. That sounds like a little bit of a different tone too, kind of a lower tone. Yeah.
Even like the vocals, he sounds like he's in like a big area by himself.
That's cool. Yeah, I know the original there, and I feel
Have
like
you heard
that's
this cover?
No, I've never heard that cover.
Really?
Yeah, that one really.
Oh wow.
That one really is a big one. And, like, really putting an exclamation mark on the original. And then just to hear the, just by the ending of, like, he had that voice in there all the time, and it's just like so restrained. The whole version of it.
Yeah.
But I know this song a lot from, like, I think personally for me it's like American Idol or like Voice or like maybe even like early YouTube or something, like you hear these big covers of them.
Yeah.
And so like this is one of those songs that I think a lot of people cover and they all have their own kind of rendition of it.
Right.
And it's such a good song that each cover of it has its own lane.
Yeah.
But the guitar stuff on here is so cool. The acoustic stuff feels so like so intimate and personal, like right up front, and I think the vocal like delivers, definitely, it's kind of laid back, kind of, I don't know, it's definitely, certified music that makes you feel something. That's a really good cover. And I don't have this song saved, but I'm going to save this cover. Yeah. That's, the original is cool, but I'm going to save this cover.
Yeah. So obviously the original is Leonard Cohen. This is by Jeff Buckley, who covers it. And I mean, just even like, I don't know the exact like microphone used and audio and whatnot, but just how it sounds, like you said, it's very like up close and personal. Obviously, like a very beautiful voice.
Yeah.
And that also has a lot of power that you kind of see towards the end. But just that paired with, like you said, the guitar playing and how soft it is, but even his voice, like I go back to it and it sounds like he's like alone in like a theater for some reason. Like it sounds like the area is huge.
That's crazy.
The spotlight is on him, and like just everybody's like holding their breath, as it goes. And then like very cool how just as a musician, how he used both his vocals and his guitar playing, and how he really utilized just volume, going quiet and slowing things down and bringing it back up. Just made everything like that more moving. And very unfortunate, he actually passed at the age of 30 from drowning in a river in 1997.
Damn.
Yeah, so...
You know what, though? But I was going to say, when you're talking about it, Jeff Buckley does sound familiar. Yeah. Like maybe he does some other cover. Or I've heard that name before, maybe even just because of that.
Yeah, he would. I mean, that's probably the biggest, is the cover, but he had a very promising career early on. Very talented, and had a lot upcoming. So it was, very unfortunate that he did.
Yeah, that's a whole nother like dynamic and layer to it. Like, it reminds me like Jason Becker. I think, hands down for me, probably my favorite guitarist. And his story about getting an ALS and not being able to play, like, and watching that movie and watching how he made music. It's like, adds a whole nother layer to it too. And it's again, that's more of like an emotional value to the song too. Stories behind it, really, really add to it, and it's a really good song. But I'm definitely gonna save that version of it. That was my favorite version of it. Yeah, and that's a really cool song. But what I want to do is like, whenever you're talking about how like the acoustics of maybe a concert where everyone's holding their breath, what I was thinking of, like maybe midway through, before it really kind of ramped up.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm gonna try to put this in, but it felt like in my head, because I kind of sometimes, when songs are playing, especially like that level, it kind of feels cinematic.
Yeah.
So in my head, I kind of go to like, what am I picturing? And like when you said, everyone's kind of listening, I felt like it was a church. Like, it felt like a white church.
Yeah.
And like the doves flat or something like, but it just felt like that acoustic of a small, like intimate, place where everything's reverberating coming back or whatever. And that's what it felt like when he's, just singing, because it sounded so loud. Yeah. It sounded so everywhere, and it was really nice. Yeah. Really nice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think he even referenced to what inspired him to cover it. Obviously, it's Leonard Cohen's original, but I think he made it known that he was strongly influenced by John Cale's stripped down cover in 1991.
Wow.
Which was a tribute to Leonard Cohen, and then from that he decided to cover it himself. He felt that it was like emotionally connected to it and liked the lyrics and whatnot, and felt that there was room for him to make his own, which I definitely think he did in this cover.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I've heard it 100 times, but that was my favorite version of that.
Yeah,
the Goosebump type of version. But that was really cool. So I will. We haven't made it to the one I thought we were going to overlap on.
Yeah.
I'm still curious if that's the one you're thinking of, because this is the concept right here. This is like 4D chess. I need you to lock in here, like lock in.
Yeah.
Put your brain cells on. This song is a song that I'm thinking I'm going to show you, and we're both. What is it called? Telepathically thinking about. Because I was thinking you were going to choose this, because maybe, again, that's my perspective of thinking, okay, what's Angelo going to think of?
Yeah.
He's probably going to bring this song, because I know about this one, he knows about it, I know he's in it. And so I know you probably held that back. He's like, no, he's going to already know I'm going to use that one. So if we get this right, this will be really fun. If not, it'll still also be really enlightening to see. You get a glimpse into my mind thinking, okay, what's he going to bring?
Yeah.
That when I was thinking about this and you said, let's do the covers, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put down to the side because he's probably gonna bring that one.
Yeah.
So let's jump to this one, and I'll play. What I'll do is I'll play the original.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll cap it at 1 minute.
Okay.
I cap it at 1 minute because we'll get it from there, but I have a couple honorable mentions, but this is the one I was thinking that he was going to pick. And honestly, on a given day, I don't know who's my favorite. But I definitely heard the cover of it first. Those drums are so
And then
awesome.
like that delayed effect too.
On the guitar, like, oh man. Minute.
Yeah, that's. So I was thinking about it as,
Okay, but just say hands down, was that the one we're both thinking about, or is that one of the in the mix?
I was thinking of another one.
Okay,
that,
so
that we would connect on.
That's interesting then. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this one, I know the cover, but I don't know if I spoiled it or not, whether I said it or not, but I was like thinking really hard, and I love the cover and the artist who covers it. Mm-hmm. But for me, I actually still prefer the original, and so I was like, I can't top it with the original, and so I'm like, it's like, again, it would be like the Samapati, where it's like in its own respect, a phenomenal cover, but for me, it doesn't like obviously top the original. I mean, the original is just...
That's what I said. Yeah, I go 50-50. Depends what I'm listening to last, but I think they both, again, equally hold a good part. And I heard the cover first, right? I heard the Prince version first.
Yep.
First, and I love that one, and then hearing the original was just like, oh man, like it's all my favorite version of like whatever that 60s rock is, whatever, it's got everything in there, like, whatever those little crunching sounds in the background. You got a little like maybe even like maracas or something too, like it's got everything, the guitar sounds and then the kind of vocal arrangement with the background singing, like
and then the layering of voices together. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then the simple drums is like kind of Beatles, like
so good,
so good. But so that's funny though. That's why you didn't put that one in there.
Yeah.
But that was one that I was like, okay, knowing how much of a Prince fan I'm like, he knows the original and he probably heard it the way I heard it too. Yeah. And I was just thinking you had the slight edge to Prince. Yeah. So that's funny. That's it. But again, that's where my head was at thinking of you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know, and I love the guitar solo that Prince does on it. It's just like, you know, it reminds me of like, I think like Pink Cashmere, like equal level of just like, everything that he brings with it. But yeah, there's something about the original, like you said, everything and all the work that they have and just the audio, it is just phenomenal. You know, it's from something then and just how advanced it is and all the, just everything that they add to it and the complexity and layers. You know, it's still like, for me, it's like, that's the one, that's still the original that outweighs it.
That's funny. That's funny. So then go ahead and play a minute of the song that we thought we were thinking of, because I'm curious here too. Because this is probably either in my mix or like one that I was contemplating, you know. That's funny.
This is the one I thought we'd cross because I think we both like, it was like super obvious and we'd both, you know, I think agree with it, I would say so.
Yeah. This is in my own personal honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real.
Yeah, this one's funny. Just based on who I listened to first.
Yeah.
The old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything.
This is like the saddest happy song ever.
Yeah.
That's a minute.
Yeah, that's where I thought we would cross over because I think we say covers, and then obviously the preface is that the majority is that it's better, right, than the original. So I was like, we'd be like crossing. I'm like, I got to stay off of that one, and I'll find some other ones in between. But that's funny. I thought that's where we would have landed.
So I can genuinely, this was in my honorable mentions. Yeah. But what's funny is that I said like I like the songs based on like what I listened to first. Yeah. And obviously for me, the Johnny Cash verse is my favorite. Yeah. But knowing who Johnny Cash is, I remember, so this is kind of a funny, you know, connection, but maybe I'm 10, 11, and I think Daisy or somebody's playing like, I don't know if it was a popular CD at the time, maybe like a 10 year anniversary, because it's an old album. Right. But I remember she was playing Ring of Fire and a couple of those songs. And I remember on a CD playing, and I'm thinking like, okay, like Johnny Cash is cool, but it's very like, kind of like country and like, you know, campfire, you know. Yeah. And it's got its place, but it wasn't like something that really stuck with me later on. And so that's who I associated Johnny Cash with, right? It was kind of a couple of those songs. Yeah. And to see, I distinctly remember like either catching them from like Garth Brooks radio or Kenny Rogers, something like that, or some crossover. Yeah. Hearing his version first, not seeing when it released, and thinking, oh, he's the original song. And then later on somehow like maybe a few years later, seeing the 9 Inch Nails version, and I'm like, oh wow, they had like a real grunge, you know, crazy, you know, take on it. That's cool. And then like I just not looking into the story, was genuinely thinking it was a Johnny Cash song. Yeah. And then seeing that it's the reverse, and seeing you know, one of my, you know, kind of like all time favorite, you know, producers, you would say, is Rick Rubin. You know, helping make that album. You know, and knowing the backstory behind it, and really seeing what happened there, and seeing where he was at in his career. Yeah. So like so it was like I love the song. I heard the original. I liked the original a lot. I liked the original a lot, and it was really cool to experience that version. But still, the cover beats it. Yeah. And then hearing the story of it, like times 10,
solidifies that.
That was the added emotion, right? Just like the Jeff Buckley story is like, wow, that adds such a higher, even though it doesn't change the performance, it just, I'm just, when you hear the grit in his voice and he's talking about her, like, it's real,
Connected with the story.
It's real, and it's kind of, and then you see the kind of documentary, and it's like he's black and white, and it just, I don't know, it reminds you of like in that version is like, although he's this like big revered artist, at his point in his career, in that time of his life, like he was kind of in the low point, At the end of the day, we're all human, and it kind of just reminds you, like, he was, I don't know, it's just cool to see that he had some revival after that, and really became
to close.
Really kind of like solidified the legacy there, and I think what a great song, and that actually. This song spurred me into listening to other songs that I found by Johnny Cash that I love now. Yeah. And other than the main classics, but so it's kind of cool to know that, cool to know that this is like the impetus. But this is definitely honorable mentions on there. Yeah. Because it was one of those that I saw whenever I looked up afterwards. What were ones that were popular? This one, alongside All Along the Watchtower. Yeah. Were both like two popular examples where the cover kind of beats the original. Yeah. But with that being said, one quick, just to see, this is just to kind of trick your mind a little bit, because you don't know that this is you definitely don't know this is a cover. And I played it the other day, and I love this song, so I just kind of want to plug this song. But you did not know this is a cover, though. And I actually just found out today by researching that it's a cover. So I was like, I can't really play it because I never gave the original enough. Yeah. To actually give it
to compete,
but knowing that's a cover, it's like, what the heck, like, and then hearing it, like, nah, it doesn't.
I'm curious if there's like the slightest chance that I would know. I don't know.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do. Yeah, and if you do know, this is actually you're looking into like a lot deeper. But I love this song, though. This is an awesome song.
I did not know this was a cover.
This is one of those songs that, like, every time you hear it, it's an experience, and you just want to, like, I don't know, you take the ride every time. Yeah. But there's just so much cool stuff here. The vocals, the guitar, the sounds. It's a minute. And that feels so sacrilegious to pause it right there because
I know, right when it gets what it goes into is just crazy.
Yeah, and I that song kind of goes in its own.
I had no
just
idea.
Guitar, Yeah. Not necessarily like guitar. What is it called? Like your presidential, your Mount Rushmore. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily a Mount Rushmore, but it's one of those songs that I put with like Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, it's a whole story. You want to go through the whole thing. Yeah. You can't just. I'm gonna have to finish it later on. But I didn't know it was a cover till today.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So again, another pull from a legendary songwriter, Bruce Springsteen.
Whoa.
And then hearing the Bruce Springsteen again, it's good, it's cool. But dude, these guys take it to a whole nother level.
It's just like, I don't know how certain artists encapsulate what it would like. That's just what it should be. You know what I mean? Like it feels like so fit that it's hard to tell. Like on certain songs, like that feels like American Pie. Like those two. Like, you know, like it fits that's a song, and that's what it is. That that's hard.
But I'm genuinely jealous of someone listening to that for the first time. Yeah. Because truthfully, like there's some songs. Again, American Pie is a great example. It's a whole story. It's a fun. It has everything there. Yeah. You can't pick a better song, right? But this song sounds like it's alien. Like from start to finish. If someone's listening to it for the first time and you go through it, for the first time, it's such a ride. It's it's and every time you listen to it, it's fun again. But truthfully, it's nothing like you can't add anything to it. They've done so much to it. They've added so much, like so many layers to it. But every layer works perfectly. Yeah. And I forget how much of a masterpiece that song is. But yeah, I found out today that was a cover. And again, I gave the original a try, but I just love that one so much. I love that cover so much by that. And I gotta listen to them more. You know, I've never really looked into Manfred Mann's Earth Band. You know, like if I looked up the song, I would look it up by the name. I probably wouldn't go by the artist. You know. Yeah. But knowing how creative and how cool this was, definitely like I gotta kind of dig into them more. But but the cover came out in 1976. So again, I don't know. I gotta figure out when the Bruce Springsteen came out, but
from what I'm gathering, Bruce is essentially Bob Dylan in the sense that everybody covers his songs and like just nails them like afterwards. But like the songwriting and everything that he puts together is just wow.
Yeah. How did Little Peep just drop a single?
Did he?
I said on Apple Music. Oh, posthumously, I guess you'd say.
This song, I heard this on the radio. It's a Mexican cover, but like listen to the intro. To me, it sounds like Shrek. I forgot what's the song when the fairy godmother is like. I need a and they're like trying to break out like the gingerbread man and like all that. That's what this sounds like for me, like the intro.
Okay,
it's just like
which is a good song too.
But like specifically that for some reason, I don't know why. I don't know why. I just thought of that for whatever reason.
It would take me a while before I figured out this is a cover. Honestly. Yeah. Because I'd be like subconscious and listening to the lyrics. Yeah. That's funny.
Like, I get to the middle, you can hear it like.
But it's like I can like clean to the song.
Yeah.
That just says a good song is a good song in any version.
Any language, no barrier. Alright. Let's go back to it.
I have one more for you if you want another one that you don't know that it's a sample.
Yeah.
It's in the same breath. And I'll do 30 seconds of this now because you're gonna know right away. You're gonna know right away if it's a sample or not, and all you need is like 3 seconds of this song. So I'll do 30 seconds.
Strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life.
This is a cover?
I think this is cover number 3.
Killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly.
With this. Stop. 30 seconds right there.
What?
That's a cover. That's a big famous cover.
Is it really?
Yeah. So the original was Lori Lieberman.
What?
And the story is that she made this song after she attended a performance by Don McLean, the American Pie guy.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like inspired by that, right? So that's a crazy pull. That was 1972. But then Roberta Flack made it popular in 1973. So that's what trips me out back in the day about songs that were like, let's say an artist put it out, but then a better artist made it popular, right? Like that happened a lot, you know, like I'm thinking about Unchained Melody. Like, doesn't that have an original like higher? Yeah. So like in that same aspect, like people would hear a song and kind of like elevate it in their own right. Yeah. So Lori Lieberman, 1972, didn't become a big hit. Yeah. 1973, Roberta Flack makes it a number 1 on Billboard. It's a hit. It's a number 1 on the Billboard chart, and it won Record of the Year, Song of the Year. So to us who've only heard it, and even our generation, probably they recognize that, but you know, there's probably people that don't really know that song. Just it's a cutoff, you know, if you're a 90s rap or not.
Yeah.
Because this song came out in 1996.
Mm-hmm.
That's already kind of like on the older side
Yeah.
to some Gen Z or whatever, Gen Alpha. But yeah, I didn't know that was a cover. I didn't know that was a cover of a cover. You know, like
whoa.
so
And
that
even
was
the story that you mentioned behind it, like that's crazy in its creation altogether.
But when you do go through them, I mean, the original is great.
Yeah.
Or not the original. The Roberta Flack one's great. I mean, the concept's great because it's there. But what they're able to achieve, like the Fugees and that, like you see like Wyclef's kind of idea and producing style of it, and then even the little guitar sound, like you see why that's my favorite version of it still, you know, and it's the version that I'm most familiar with. So but still, it's like that was a cool thing to figure out. That was a cover of a cover.
That's crazy. I mean, this could keep on going, just like.
Literally, on songs. And again, it's mostly original too. That one was like that was a true original copy, you know, or cover of it. Right. So that was one of the things I thought about. But it's a great song, but I had better I love this more, you know, this cover more. So those are just a few examples. Hopefully, you know, my goal here on this was like I had 10 examples, you know, and 5 honorable mentions. Yeah. But my whole goal was like. Maybe 1 or 2 of those songs in each of the side is a new song for you because, again, like that if that's your first listen or first, like I don't know, that's a sample or I knew the original of that. I didn't know Jimi Hendrix had a, you know, like so that I'm if there's a takeaway from here, that for me that's it, right?
Yeah, for sure. No, I know this is a ton of fun, and it's just cool to like you said, see the story, get the understanding. That's the music nerd part of it. Yeah. But also, it's cool to see like just the like the big aspect. Like I said, it's different artists covering, you know, different songs from entirely different, you know, genres and whatnot and things like that. Even, you know, just joking around with the Hotel California, but even other languages. You know how certain songs can just cross that and you know be interpolated or covered, you know, as is, you know, so it's really cool to see a good variety of that for sure.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, I think this could be a ongoing series. You know, if this is really liked, you know, there's more that I know music nerd about. Like I have information on that. Yeah, I could do 6-7 more songs like this easily. That was really unintentional, honestly, but I'm gonna have to cut that. I have probably another 10 examples that are like this. That are exact covers, pure, true, honest, you know. Yeah. But in that same idea, though, I think I have probably another 30 or 40 interpolations where it's like, like I was talking about "Workout" by J. Cole. Like it still takes a big chunk of it, or you know, "Juicy Fruit," or like you know, there's a lot of like even those '90s rap songs that really took the original that are really interpolations of the cover that they're doing. Right. But it's still distinct. It's still a new song. Yeah. And then I have like. My favorite like rap sample pools that are not just a little part of it or a little section. It's a main part of the song, you know. Yeah. And maybe that's the main theme or concept or the main beat of it, you know. Yeah. And so there's different layers of it, but the funny thing is that on the pure cover side, it's the least amount. Yeah. Maybe 20 max. Yeah. In that next interpolation, 50 maybe more. And then the sample side. 100, you know, like, you know, that might be my favorite type of music in general, you know? Yeah. Is that I really like an original and I like a cover of it, you know? Yeah. And, so that definitely, my mic could be like 3 different tiers or 3 different versions of this, but it's fun to kind of open this aspect of it, yeah. Yeah,
I think we got a little bit of each, you know, throughout this. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Definitely. That was fun. Yeah. Yeah. The covers idea, whenever I thought about it and you're like, and you green-lighted it, I was like...
No, I know, and the rabbit hole of covers, if you just go to Mexican music, it keeps on going.
That's a whole other video.
That's a whole section altogether.